We are here with a very esteemed panel to discuss what has been an extremely hot topic during the entire World Tour and also during this event, and that is the change in the ASP World Tour format. To introduce our esteemed panel, long-time ASP World Tour Director Renato Hinkle. Beside him, 78 World Champion and former President of ASP, Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew. Pat O'Connell, long-time former World Tour surfer, contest director and now on the tech committee of the ASP. Brodie Carr, CEO of the ASP. 88 World Champion, Bart Lynch, and pro surfer and the only man to have moved from outside the top 32 to well inside the top 32, Pat Gadauskas. Pat, firstly, I'd like to ask, what was your experience of and your preparation for that mid-year from 45 surfers to 32 surfers cut?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to, like, you just really have to step it up. Everything's kind of, more or less balls to the wall. You can't hold much back, and if you do, you're just going to be kind of cut right out of that thing. So I think it's exciting to think that you can have a kind of a double whammy, that if you don't make that 22, that there's also the, any prime results you're keeping. I'm keeping one right now from Huntington, I think. So, I'm looking forward to those challenges, and they kind of keep you, fresh and excited. So,
Barton, I'd like to get your perspective now as a developer of young talent.
Well, I just see that there is a massive number of incredible surfers on the tour or in the world at this point in time, and my initial feelings were to cull those numbers and make it even more elite at a point in time when the talent base is broader and bigger than it's ever been. I always thought that the ASP really was there to create jobs for surfers and to broaden that base and to create more and more opportunity for surfers.
Does this make it harder for young talent to be on the World Tour, or does it present more opportunities?
Well, the theory behind the change, one of them, is exactly to make the tour more dynamic and make it easier and faster for young talents coming through the qualifying rankings to access the top level of the sport. And I believe if we top the 12 events, World Tour events per year, then perhaps we can establish 3 rotations a year, one after every 4 events. So the world title race rankings will run parallel to the world rankings, and its only function is to decide the ASP World Champion.
Is it mathematically possible that somebody could qualify mid-year and win a world title?
Very unlikely to happen, but if we had a year that there is no dominations and guys are falling off the rankings and the up-and-coming guys wins the next 5 events, maybe.
Then in Hawaii last year, we sat down and went, okay, 10,000 is the max if you win a World Tour event. Then when you go to a prime event, how much do we think winning a prime event, asking the surfers, how much is that worth to you guys? Well, that's kind of equal to a third. So let's slot that into a third on the World Tour and then work down like that. And then we get to the 6-star events. How much is that worth compared to a prime and a World Tour? And slot that one in, and then the rest kind of follow down. Then there's the part of the goal that we have at ASP, that we don't want to encourage surfers necessarily to be travelling a heap around the world. We want them to build from their juniors through to in their local regions, through their 4 and 5 stars to get points, then onto 6s, and then go to the primes, get all their points, and then go to the World Tour. If there's a surfer that's not being able to progress high enough, he needs to work at home first rather than send him on the road when he's young and gets burnt out. And
Pat, be interested to get your thoughts on the process.
The one thing that we forget that we have with surfing, because now my job I deal with other sports, is we have a defined tour. From an event promoter side, I want to see the top surfers in the water as much as possible. My last year on tour, I was pretty much sleeping my way through. I requalified, but my heart wasn't in it. But did I think I could have had another couple of years on tour? Yeah. Not because I was good enough, it was just I knew how to do it. Yeah. So it's bad because I could have taken a spot from someone like Pat. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I think that the younger guys should be able to replace guys like myself
Because
because
it's a 6-month run, right? You can have a good 6 months and you're on tour.
if you're good
Is
enough,
that good
if
enough?
you're good
Is that
enough,
right?
you're going to be there the whole time. It's going to work itself out. And as Renato said, if you get a chance before, you're getting a chance basically 6 months beforehand.
Yeah, you have a good 6 months, you're on.
Yeah, and the next thing you know,
But you keep those points. Remember, the world ranking is the qualifying now. So if you have a good 6 months, those points you keep them. So the end, when you've got the next 6 months, you might not have such a good run as you did, but you've still got those 6 months of points. So you more than likely
But that,
will get
and
back
that's
on.
assuming that those events are the same events at the same time each year too?
No.
So if the event changes, do you just replace it with another event?
Yeah, we're gonna get new events and we're gonna lose events.
Yeah, but I mean from a points point of view, say there's the Gold Coast on, you've got that point carried over from 12 years, but the following year the Gold Coast isn't on.
Yep.
What replaces that
Tahiti this
chunk
year,
of
I think,
points?
is a good example.
You're-
Tahiti was at a different period of time. So
Yeah.
is it the event that counts or is it a calendar date?
It's
Yeah,
the calendar
exactly.
date.
The
Because
calendar date.
What we discussed it
Right.
at length, and felt that if you get a result, you deserve to keep it for 12 months.
I think we have dynamic format as well on hands with this opportunity to have or to offer to the audience and the media, the public, the top guys surfing more than once in that final rounds. And when you're gonna have the elite surfers in that event, the 12 guys that qualified so far in that event, facing each other, knowing that it can go for broke because they're not going to be knocked out of the event. And if they win, they will be rewarded with a quarterfinal berth.
It's good, bad, indifferent, uncertain.
Oh, a bit of all, but I think positive. Look, you know, change is a great concept, and then all of a sudden people go, "Whoa, that affects me." You know, I think the opportunity to be able to capture a swell cycle, maximise the swell potential in windows of plus. Also, I guess the luxury of also being able to spread this format out and even run it a bit longer in a swell window, I think is a plus. You know, the strength of field, meaningful rounds of competition, good prize money spread.
Some key points that we're looking at is making sure there's enough opportunities for guys to progress up and get onto the World Tour and become a world champion. Making sure that career path structure is there, so the younger kids in the juniors can see where they want to go and how to get there. And you know, overall the motto is world's best surfers on the world's best waves. So if we kind of keep that in the back of our mind and make our decisions based on that, then I think we'll be in good shape.
But I mean, ultimately all you want is for the guys to be able to make a living out of surfing, to feel secure, to be able to go and have a 10-year span on tour where they've been able to avoid a real job and go to the beach every day of their life and, you know, have a hell of a life like we were able to do. And, you know, I have total faith in the people who are running the sport, and if they feel that this is in the best interest of the sport, so be it. And if the surfers do and there's a collaboration to this new system, then that's great.
This event's, it's testament to where it's going. It's like we're getting valet parking, getting catered right down the beach, and we're killing it. We're getting good waves. I mean, it is the dream, like right here. I mean, I'm home, so it's even double whammy. But you know, I think the frustrations from the surfer's perspective come from confusion and, you know, kind of like I think one of you guys was saying to me, Bugs, about the insecurity. I mean, that's just an obvious. You can't not be insecure about wanting to be on this tour because it's that good. Now making it more elite makes it, you know, you just gotta step up. You know, that's kind of the bottom line. And someone's gonna fall off, and maybe it's, you know, everything happens for a reason. And again, like Pat's saying, it's going in a good direction. I think you guys are working hard to iron it out. It's not a perfect system. It's not an easy thing to figure out. I mean, I sure as heck couldn't do it. So, you know, we're putting our 2 cents in, but you know, I'm excited at the chance to surf events like this. You know, it's cool.